Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. And if you can hear me okay, if you don't mind, just go ahead and type okay in the comments or yes in the comments. That'd be real helpful. So what we're going to talk about today is one of my favorite topics, how to sell your house for more money and faster. And specifically what we're going to talk about is your pricing strategy, your initial asking price, and how long you expect that your house is going to sit on the market with that price, whether it's going to bring in multiple offers and create a bidding war. And we'll also talk about, where the pricing might lead to if you overprice your home or underprice your home. So anyway, that's what we'll be talking about today. And before I get started, just want to let you know, if you're really serious about selling your home or buying another home, give us a call. You may want us to help you to sell it or buy another home. You may not. Either way is cool. We'll be happy to just give you some great advice, point you in the right direction. And you can go to showcasecall.com and you can just schedule a time to talk from that site. It's got a little online scheduler. So let's get back to it. What we're talking about right now is we're talking about selling your home for more money and faster. And we're talking about the pricing strategy. And without a doubt, pricing, the initial asking price you set for your house is the number one most important thing towards a successful sale. Your price is gonna either attract people or repel people. And if it repels people and you sit on the market for a while, it causes some problems. And in today's market, even just being on the market for a few weeks without going into escrow, that can be a problem, just a few short weeks. So we're gonna talk about that. The thing about pricing that gets everyone so concerned is a lot of folks have the majority of their net worth tied up in their house. They may even have the majority of their cash tied up in their house, especially if they used a lot of their cash for the down payment and they just bought the house, say maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And if they've done some remodeling, maybe they've dumped a bunch of their cash into the remodeling. So a lot of times people get nervous when they start putting their house up for sale and they start talking about price, because they get concerned about are they going to get a good return on their investment. And so this is going to be really, really important for that too. And people get worried about, are they going to get a good return on their investment? Sometimes they get worried excuse me, sometimes they get worried if the house is going to sit on the market because of the price, because the price was too high. Is that going to cause a problem with them finding a house, the replacement house that they're going to move to? Is that going to cause a problem there? And so, sometimes there's a lot of worry and things like that tied up in the pricing strategy. But the point that I really want to make is there's 4 strategies we're going to cover. Out of those 4 strategies, there's one that we found to be the best, at least in today's market. And I'll share all 4 strategies with you. I'll let you know kind of the pros and the cons of each one. And then we'll also talk about the one that we suggest that you go with in most situations. And if you're just joining us, if you're serious about buying a home or selling a home, we would love to talk with you. You might want us to help you sell it and buy another. You may not. But either way, we'd be happy to give you some advice and point you in the right direction. You can just go to showcasecall.com, and on there is a scheduler. You can just click a few buttons and get scheduled with us to talk. And so let's just get back to it. There's 4 different pricing strategies that you can take. The first one is to overprice your house. And you overprice your house and you hope that somebody comes along that's willing to pay that price, and they can get a loan for that amount of money if they're getting financing for the house. The second strategy is to underprice your house. This is where you know what the market value is, or you think you know what the value is. You price below it, and what you're hoping to do is to create kind of like a feeding frenzy with so many people being interested in your home because of the low price. The third strategy is to give a range of price range. So for example, instead of listing your house at $950,000, what you might do is list it as a range of $920,000 to $950,000. So that is not like super popular, but it does, it does happen. The last one is the one that we're actually the one that we actually suggest in almost every situation. And what that is that's to price your house at full market value, and then let the buyers get into a bidding war and push your house, push the final price up even more. So we're going to talk about all of those in detail. But if you're just joining us and you're really serious about buying a home or selling a home, or maybe doing both of those things at the same time, then give us a call. You might want us to help you to buy or sell. You may not. Either way is cool. We're just happy to give you some great advice, point you in the right direction. And kind of back to what we were talking about was the 4 different types of pricing strategies that you can take. And if you overprice your house, one of the problems that you're going to run into is so let's say that your house is probably worth $750,000, but you want to get $780,000 for it. You want to put it on the market for $780,000. Well, now all of a sudden you're not competing with the $750,000 houses anymore. You're competing with the $780,000. And buyers, most people are finding their homes online. So they're just going on and they're doing a search and they're looking at all the homes that are in that $780,000 price point. Now, if your home is smaller, because the market value is really $750,000 and you're just trying to overprice it to get more, you're going to be competing against bigger homes. You're probably going to be competing against newer homes, and you may even be competing against neighborhoods that are more desirable, that are hotter markets than where your home is in. So it just really raises the level of competition that you're competing against. Most of the time what happens is the people in the marketplace, buyers, they realize, hey, I can get something better for $780,000. This house is worth $750,000, maybe $760,000. I'm going to look elsewhere. And so your house, when it's overpriced, it sits on the market for weeks with no offers. Once that happens, then you've lost all the excitement of being the new kid on the block, of being the new house that is on the market. Now you're starting to get into 14 days on market. You get into 21 days on market. Now you've been on the market for a month. And agents and buyers start to wonder if there's a problem with your house. If there's nothing wrong with it, how come it hasn't gone into escrow yet? So that's the biggest problem that's one of the big problems with overpricing your house, is that it's going to sit on the market for weeks with no offers, and then you've lost all the excitement. You're going to lower the price, and once you lower it, people still don't want to make an offer. They're going to wait for you to lower it again. They figure, well, you lowered it once, you're going to lower it again. And typically the seller will do that. And so you end up having to underprice your house just to sell it. So that's the overpricing strategy. Some people do it. It tends to not work out very well for them. The other thing you can do is you can underprice your house. Let's say your house is worth $750,000. That's the market value. And you've priced it at $730,000. Now what you've done is you've brought in a bunch of people that maybe $730,000 is their max. You're trying to create a bidding war to get the price up to $750,000 or $760,000, but you started at $730,000, so you've attracted people that aren't even going to be able to go to the price that you want. The other thing that you've done is you've started out with such a low number, even though you could have multiple offers, and these offers start competing against each other, and the price goes up. You started at such a low number that you can't make up all that ground. You know, your house is $750. You really was hoping to push it to $760, but you started at $730. $730,000 to get to $750 or $760 is going to be a stretch sometimes. So that's something to consider. Underpricing, you're going to run into issues where you're maybe attracting like fix and flip investors, or you're attracting people that just can't go to the higher price, or they're not willing to go to the higher price. Maybe they can qualify for it, but they don't want to go that high. So hope that makes sense. The other thing is, if a third strategy is when sometimes a seller will price their house with a range. So they want, let's say they want $950,000. Instead of pricing it at $950, they price it at, you know, $900 to $950 or $920 to $950. The problem with that is, if you're the seller, you're going to want the higher numbers, the way it always is. But if you're the buyer, you're going to want the lower number. You probably want the lower number or less. The seller wants the higher number or more. The thing is, it's confusing when you tell somebody that you want $920 to $950,000 for your house. Which one do you want? And it's confusing to other agents. It's confusing to buyers. And so it's if you look at a history of homes that have had a price range, they typically sit on the market a long time, and they typically go through a lot of price adjustments so that they can finally find somebody that wants the house bad enough to, you know, go through all of this, trying to, you know, figure out what the seller really wants. The fourth thing you can do, and this is what we always, I shouldn't say always, this is what we suggest, you know, probably like 99% of the time, is just to price at full market value, and let the market push your price up. So for example, we had a property that was, we did an analysis, and the house was worth $680. We felt really positive about $680. We went onto the market at $679,900, and we got 4 offers. All 4 people ended up increasing their, well, 3 out of the 4 ended up increasing their offers. And we took the $679,900 price up to, I believe, $696. And that's what can happen a lot of times. If you price your house at fair market value, or what we like to call full market value, and let the market drive it up by creating a bidding war, by getting multiple offers. If you can get 2, 3, 4 offers within the first 5, 6, 7 days on the market, you've really created some excitement, and it's going to push the price up. And so that's what we suggest. And, you know, we've had a lot of success with it. So, you know, that's what we would suggest. Price at full market value. Go with a marketing campaign that's really going to spotlight your house in a very positive way, and get out there on the market fast. We'll talk about that in some other videos about what we like to call exploding onto the market. So that's basically it. You know, what we're saying here is price at fair market, price at full market value. Don't try to overprice your house or underprice your house or do any shenanigans with, you know, price range. And you're going to find that's going to work really, really well for you if it's coupled with the right marketing plan, and you time your entry onto the market so that it makes the most sense for your area. And we'll talk about that on some other videos too. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it for you. And let me just check real quick. Yeah, it doesn't look like I've got any comments or anything, but if you're serious about buying a house or selling, or you want to do the 2 things at the same time, give us a call. We'd love to give you some advice, point you in the right direction. There's no obligation or anything. If you wanted to work with us and let us help you, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. You can go to showcasecall.com, and on there, click a few buttons and get scheduled with us on a time that's good for you. Okay? All right. Hope you have a great time, a great evening, and I'll see you next time. Take care.